growth? I know that's where the majority of your business is. Where are you seeing the most growth?
So we just opened an office in Japan right now, but again, it's all over. There's a strong presence in Europe, a lot of growth in Asia. Again, as software is growing, we're seeing a lot more customers come from those regions too.
I want to talk about China because this is one of your top 5 markets, right? And the government, the government has tried to block access to your site. Chinese hackers have become more and more aggressive. How do you manage that relationship?
It's definitely interesting. I mean, we're learning a lot about the country and the culture and things like that. But ultimately, the goal for us is to create a community where anyone can participate. And so trying to figure that out and navigate that is a big part of our plan for the future.
So what's your take on more and more aggressive tactics?
It's something we see all over. I mean, we suffer lots of attacks all the time from small groups to who knows what. And that's just going to be part of it. More and more people are able to use the internet as a weapon. But at the same time, what we focus on are more and more people using the internet for good, which is kind of the awesome part.
So $250 million in funding, how do you plan to spend that? Will you be spending that on security, for example?
The core business is going really, really great, and that's a part of why we've decided to raise money right now. I mean, the fundamentals are there. Security is there. Uptime is fantastic. What we're focusing on now are making investments and expanding, particularly internationally. So like the Japan office is a big part of that. We plan to do way more.
So it's interesting, obviously. Developers love GitHub. At the same time, you've had at times confidential information ends up online via GitHub. Sometimes it's the company's fault. Sometimes it's somebody who works at that company, their fault. Uber, for example, was one of those cases. How do you handle those kinds of issues? Like Uber tried to subpoena you guys for information.
It's difficult, right? I mean, it's a platform, it's a tool. A lot of people can use it for many different ways. So we're trying to get a lot smarter about helping people protect themselves. So if people want scanning their code before they check it in to say, hey, you accidentally left a password in there, maybe your Amazon credentials, something like that. So we're definitely aware of that and working on it. We think we can actually create a pretty good safety net for people.
Interesting. So, one of the things about GitHub, and I know that you've sort of recovered from this over the last year, but there was a situation where a woman at the company accused somebody at the company, a co-founder, of sexual harassment. Both of them have now left. How do you feel